And we can't talk about so many things that we're playing with at the moment, right? There's so many secret things happening at the office.
I don't even know what you guys are talking about.
I don't feel like Cody's even playing with those secret things. He's just carrying those secret things, but that's what you get for being the fit one of a company. You wanted muscles, you must use them.
Yeah, exactly. But the sad thing is, the stuff that he carried wasn't even the exclusive secret things that we can't talk about. So I think you were duped there,
No.
Cody. You were
They
duped.
don't even phone me for that. No, I get left at home.
We are live on Facebook.
Nice. Well, on that beautiful note, thank you, Ariel. Guys, welcome to another NAG Podcast, the show that we do on the fly. We don't even know what's going to happen next, and the points don't matter. What was that show where we said that? That comedy show?
Whose line is it anyway?
Whose line is it anyway? Well, it's our line today, that's for sure. So guys, just before we kick off, in case you didn't know, the NAG magazine is on sale again, and you can get it at shop.nag.co.za. It's a labor of love and a continuation of the epic NAG magazines that we all grew up with. And we highly recommend you go check it out. We've got some good prizes, excellent prizes to give away with each issue. There are also some prizes on the annual edition 2024 that you can also win. And you can head over to shop.nag.co.za to secure yours now. Why are you laughing, Cody? Am I telling you?
Because
I'm
I
laughing
held
at how
up the
Ariel always
magazines
has the
amazingly.
magazines on hand. She's such a good promo
Oh,
girl.
where is mine?
And I never have any.
I
I
didn't
have
even look at
another
the cameras.
Pokemon card.
We're going to remember this come performance review time.
Oh, yeah.
You were not committed to selling the magazine.
Well, speaking of performance review, let me perform. If you guys didn't know, we also have a weekend newsletter that we send out every Friday morning. We fill you guys in on everything that we're up to at the office. There's a little bit of some exclusive content in there. So if you want to check it out, you can head on over to www.nag.co.za to sign up. Yeah.
And if magazine reading and newsletter reading isn't for you, you can head over to our social platforms. We are on X, Facebook, LinkedIn, Threads, Instagram, you name it, and you can see what we're getting up to in a very short, digestible way.
And we now even include extra content that is not on our website. So if you want to kind of get an insight into the cool things that makes us tick without us having to write lots of content on it, we drop a lot of cool links on there so you guys can get access to all the things we find really cool on the interwebs.
Yeah.
Now, before we
Cool
kick off the show,
things.
guys, this week's audience question, and I think it's quite a hot topic at the moment. What is the maximum price that you would pay for a game? Ariel, Cody, what is the maximum price you would pay for a game?
He asked
So
you
let
first.
me just say, I have wanted to play Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 more than anything. Like, I want that game so badly, and yet I cannot get it over my heart to actually buy the game. So, below Kingdom Come Deliverance, I feel
What does
like
that
is
retail
my
for now? 800
threshold.
bucks.
900 and something. Like
900 and
950, I
something.
think.
So look, I think the catch here, or the ace up many gamers' sleeve, is of course you can get access to these games for very cheap if you sign up to Xbox Game Pass or even your respective consoles store with some free games. But of course, this doesn't always. It's not really the solution, especially if you're not on those platforms or if you want to play
Yeah.
this game on another platform. 800, 900 bucks is expensive, but I think my limit is like maybe a 1200 for some games.
Yeah.
I wouldn't pay that for
Yeah.
every game. I mean, I think that a game like GTA is a good example, right? If I look at GTA, what I paid for it back in the day, I think it was 600 bucks, 700 bucks on console, a GTA 5 at least. But that
So
game got
20
so
years
much
ago.
value. I've been playing it. Yeah, I mean, I've been playing it until about 3 years ago, right? So in that, if you know what you're getting into, right? Not a lot of games have really proved
Replay
themselves
value
to
to
us.
that limit.
Yeah, replayability, but also not a lot of games. I mean, if we see a lot of AAA titles these days that kind of fail on launch, right? If you look at what GTA done, they've proved themselves. So if GTA 6 comes out with like a 1,500 rand price tag, it's probably going to be more. But I think a lot of gamers will still go for it because of that. You know you're going to get into a couple of years worth of gaming on that title, I'm sure.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
that's not
that
even
does
talking
make
about
it
buying a
worth it.
game on multiple platforms, right? If you buy it on one platform and another again because you have a new console or a new PC or a new handheld device.
I will say my limit does increase though when they give you stuff like physical stuff with your order. So I sunk over $3,000 into Cyberpunk when it launched because I got that collector's edition that came with the statue and the art book. So I'm a sucker for those things. Like if I know I'm going to get a nice statue, even if I don't love the game that much, I still have a piece of art that's super attractive. Then like I'm willing to go up in price. But just for a single game, even if it's Grand Theft Auto 6 and I want that game bad, I sunk so much of my life into 5. Even then, I feel like R1,500 is a very hard pill to swallow.
No, it is. But again, I look at it from I guess another way you can flip it, right? If I look at free-to-play battle royale games, I love that they're free, but I do spend money on cosmetics because, you know, I kind of, it's not that I want to just go out and support all the developers, but I see the value in doing it because I've been playing so much with the game and the fact that it's free. I kind of apply that same logic to just any other game. You know, if I know I'm going to get value out of it, or it's something that, I'm going to spend at least 50 hours on, then that sliding scale of costing is very debatable in a sense. But it's very specific to the title, the franchise, and obviously the game. Cody, you haven't said anything yet. Where does your where does your cap
His
lie?
benchmark is play Ariel's games for free.
I just get Ariel to buy everything. I mean, I was thinking about it, and it was funny. I was thinking of the price of Kingdom Come because it's 900 and something on Steam, which is expensive for a Steam game, but it's $1,200 on PlayStation. And I was thinking back to the last like PlayStation game that I got, and it was Borderlands 3, and I got it as it came out, and I bought the collectible edition that came with digital, unfortunately no physical things, but I think I paid $1,500 for Borderlands 3. And when that came off my account, that's when my heart was like, never again. Never again. I mean, I enjoyed Borderlands 3, but yeah, for that, it was like a sting. But I mean, like $1,200 seems like a comfortable amount for a PlayStation game. I know they're costly, but $800 for a Steam game, you know, I'm comfortable.
I wouldn't say a
around
PlayStation
there.
game is more costly than any other. I guess this is a whole can of worms, this conversation, because if you look down into development costs, right, a game like GTA 6 obviously is going to cost an insane amount of money. So there's kind of some justification to the cost. But if it's a price gouging thing, or they just want to capitalize on trying to look like a premium product, you know, again, we've been hurt by games in the past. How many games have hurt us, even if it's not premium cost, you know?
Yeah.
So many.
What do you guys who's watching us at the moment? What do you think? What is your max price you pay for a game? I mean, where does games sit at the moment? $600, roughly $600-700 on average.
I think
Or is
it
it $800
depends.
now?
Like indie games sit at an average of 250 to 450 rand. That's where you're sitting for your indie. Some less, some more, but that's where the average is. Then I feel like if you do a AAA indie, it sits from the 500 to the 750 rand mark. And then AAA's 750 to 1,200 rand mark.
750. When was the last time you paid 750 rand for a AAA game?
Oh, that is very low.
It is low, but I mean, they do come out. Like, you do get some. I can't think of one off the top of my head now, but
Because they don't exist.
They do exist, I promise you. They're just not in my mind right now, but they do exist.
Yeah.
But
I
for
feel like-
sure, for a AAA, you're not walking away unless it's a sale for less than 750 rand. It's not happening. That's not where they price anymore. It is what it is.
So here's a sub question for you, Ariel. How do you realistically define a AAA title? I mean, it's not necessarily a bigger, bolder title, right? I mean, there's a few other things that makes it, gives a title that third or that fourth A on the triple fourth A rating. You know what I mean? I mean, where do we draw the line? Where do we draw the line with that?
I feel like indies are a small independent studio. AAA indies is an independent studio that had a bigger budget. And AAA games are ones that come from established studios, so you know they had good budget behind their game.
Well, my question still stands though. Yes, I understand that. But with so many horrible AAA titles recently, right? Yes, it's now just becoming a label almost, you know? It's like,
Yeah,
you know,
it's 100% just a label. It's not
it
a
doesn't mean that you're
quality
getting a better
indicator.
experience.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure
yeah.
not.
Yeah, for sure.
So with that question in mind, right, I mean, it's not a AAA title that's more expensive is almost guaranteed these days not to give you as good of an experience as pick a random indie game.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. It's always budget related. AAA comes from someone who's got the money behind them. A AAA indie is someone who's like made their name by releasing something great like Hades.
Hollow
and they
Knight.
get picked up. Yeah, you know, they get picked up by publishers and whatever, and then they get an extra boost into it. So you know they haven't brought us like 15 years worth of games, maybe one or two good titles, but they've got some backing now. And then like an indie title is just, I don't know, scrolling through Steam and this looks cool and you pick it up and you end up wasting.
But the
a
lines have
weekend
blurred
away.
so much that, yeah, it's almost like referring to games like this is kind of pointless, because the cost is going to determine one thing, and the actual playability or the play experience is probably going to cost more in terms of value, or what does that value mean to the guy that's buying it or the girl that's buying it.
Yeah,
We should
for sure.
redefine AAA.
Redefine gaming. Got a quick. Atomic says, I can't get myself to spend more than 700 Rand ish on a game. I will go higher if I really want the game, but otherwise I'll wait for specials. And that is such a good point, right? I think if you're in the know and you are not desperate to get a title on launch, you're probably going to wait a while and get it at an incredibly good sale, especially if you're on PC and you're a Steam user.
Guys, you
Yeah.
think that, right? But let me tell you two quick stories. Ori and the
Please
Blind
tell us.
Forest and Grand Theft Auto 5. Both those games I wanted on launch. Both those games were expensive on launch. Both those games I was like, I'm going to wait for a sale.
Never.
No sale came. I
Yeah.
went to Rage. I still remember it. And I was like, you know what? I am just going to buy at BT Games Grand Theft Auto 5 because this game is never going to go on sale. I'm going to wait until I die. I paid for exorbitant fee. I bought it. I walked back to my PC because I was LANing. I put the old-fashioned disc in my disk drive, and while it was installing, I opened up Steam, and it was on a 50% sale. And I was like, you have got to be kidding me. And the same freaking thing happened with Ori and the Blind Forest. I have been burned so many times with that.
So what I'm hearing is you should actually just buy it on launch, because the sales period is so long. You're just going to get the
It's
game
just
come in and
waiting.
gonna-
It is just waiting up until you spend the money, and then they're like, jokes, we're on sale now.
Should just
Yeah,
start
look,
a
it's
club. We get you to buy it, and then the sale starts, and then, you know, all the savings we make, we pay the fee to join the club.
There's a service in there somewhere there, Ariel. Oh, it's Xbox Game Pass. Sorry, Ariel Game Pass.
Real Game Pass.
It's
I'm
terrible.
already signed up.
Yeah, you see, but there's only a few that have that elite privilege. Not even I have access to that famed and unknown.
There are only so many people. We can kick Oliver. Let's vote as a team. Who says we give up Oliver's spot?
No, look, I think you guys can enjoy that for a bit. There's, I can barely get through my own library of games. You're good.
Yeah.
I wouldn't come knocking at your door just yet.
I mean, but that's another thing. Our libraries are so massive. It's okay to wait for a sale, right? Because you have so much to play if you just have the patience.
Is it okay though? Do you not want to play Kingdom Come Deliverance, Cody? Is it not eating at you? Reading that guide today, went you like, this sounds so great? You see? My other
But
games
there's
are
an easy
trash
solution for it.
now.
Just get Xbox Game Pass, Cody. You can get it, and you can get it now.
No, it's not on Xbox
not
Game
on
Pass.
Game
No, it's not.
I
Why
feel
did
like
think
you're
it was on there.
pushing this too
I think
much.
I
It's
had
not
this-
on there.
I definitely had something in my mind that it was on there. Isn't it coming to Game Pass?
No, they've not even announced.
I'm sure. Maybe it was some undisclosed information I read that I shouldn't have said
Oh.
anything.
What kind of Game Pass are you subscribed to that you get Kingdom Come? And how do we join?
The editors VIP pass. It's only given out to magazine editors around. There's only one at the moment. That's me.
Oh, nice. Share.
I mean, what game what game would you actually, if you look at the state of gaming now, Ariel, what game launching now that would you pay full price for, regardless of anything? GTA 6? No matter what it is?
GTA, no. Even there, I have my firm 1,200 Rand, and I will wait. If it launches at 1.5, I'll wait until it goes down to 1.2. I'll buy it then. Because again, with a game like GTA 6, I want to play it with Larry. I don't want to play it on my own. So in my mind, it's not 1,500 Rand, it's 3,000 Rand. And that is ridiculous. Or I want to play it with other friends, and I have to convince them to spend that money as well. So I would wait for that to come down. Yeah, I don't know. There's not really a coming title that I'm so excited about that I'm like, because again, it's the Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 thing. Like, it's a hard push to not just wait for the sale that you know is going to come.
Yeah. Would a game like GTA 6 go on sale within the first 2 years? I don't know if it would. So there you're going to have to wait a while.
Doubt it.
I mean, I bought Red Dead Redemption 2 years after launch, but I got it for $200.
Yeah, but it's a good game.
Yeah, but I mean, there wasn't a hype back then.
Than 200.
GTA 5, I definitely would have bought every day of the week at whatever price, within reason, obviously. I mean, but I guess it all comes down to personal player preference, right? Where's your cyberpunk figurine type of thing, right, Ariel? The game sucked at launch, but you got a cool statue.
Yeah.
Speaking
about
bought
games, a cool figurine and got a free game.
Keeping about games that sucked at launch.
You know where I'm going to go with this.
Okay, look, let me just say, before everybody in the comments starts throwing tomatoes at me, let me just say, Avowed is not outright terrible. It is just the most mediocre game you will ever play in your life. And I'm sorry, when you are paying 1,200 Rand for a game, can we please stop making excuses for average? Like, I saw so many people comment and be like, but it's unfair to compare games to brilliant games. No, that is then the standard, right? If we are going to sell our games at 1,200 Rand, the standard is excellent games. Avowed is so average, I wouldn't even pay 450 Rand for the game. So we need to stop making excuses for average. As a entity, gaming has moved beyond average. It just is how it is. You can invest your time and your money playing so many amazing games. I mean, Baldur's Gate 3 goes for 600 Rand and will give you an amazing experience. You can buy the Witcher games for almost nothing now, and you are going to get a major... If you like the universe, Pillars of Eternity are still great, playable, amazing games. Avowed is mediocre, end of story. It just is how it is. Like... I don't understand.
Raymond's saying something interesting here, and I agree with it. Being FOMO will cost you, and I think to your what you were saying now, Ariel, I agree with you. You can, and this is why I love what we do, because we get to talk about the fantastic older games that anybody can play for next to nothing. But it's the fear of missing out on the new titles, right? I want to be in GTA 6 with my clan or my crew to play games, to do those heists, to experience that open world. But I can only do that if I buy the game. And I think that's what they're riding on for most of it, if everybody's in on the hype. It's like a new iPhone every year, right? You don't need it, but it's there.
I even like that comment from Atomic, that if you want to pin it, because I sort of agree with that. I would be more likely to spend more money on an expansion for a game I really enjoy than a new game. And I'm there. I mean, just this past weekend, Larry and I bought the expansion for Guild Wars because we've been playing Guild Wars 2 for 15 years. That game has given me 15 years of joy. I have no issue paying 1,200 Rand for expansion because... It's been 15 years, and I know I'm going to continue playing it for another 10 years.
Yeah, I used to do the same for Destiny too. I mean, you just spend hours and hours and years. I mean, I even have friends that I met in Destiny clans, so like spending the $600, $700, $800 on an expansion for that kind of thing is different.
Yeah.
Plus, you know it's gonna be good. Like
100%. It's just more of what you already love.
Yeah.
And I think it is a great way to bolster and give us more of that gaming experience. So without trying to sell us a new game, which more than often will probably be not as good as that thing that we fell in love with in the first place. In that case, I mean, Cyberpunk also got a great add-on. If you love the game, it's going to give you many more hours to play. And as a fan, yeah, I'm there for that as well.
Yeah.
But I think the other, unfortunately, the problem we're also sitting with is publishers that can't finish the game that they promised, and then they put some of that content into DLC, whether it is to make extra money or whether it is just to, they couldn't finish it, they're pushing it out into. So we get both sides of it, I guess. There's never going to be we've gone are the days of having really fantastic games every month on launch. Yeah. No patch required. Remember those games?
Yeah.
Buy the disc. You didn't need a patch day one. What is that?
Okay, you see, I really disagree with you there. I could write a thesis on that because I feel like back in the olden days, games were not great. You just sat with it. So you bought a game, level number 23 had a bug that stopped you from progressing, and that was just how it was because it was never gonna be fixed. And eventually you trolled the deepest depths, the dark web of gaming, to find a user patch or somebody else's save file where they managed to get past that piece and you downloaded it so you could finish the game. But people were happy with it because that's all that we had. We had to be happy with it. Now, things are getting patched and people are very quick to go, back in the day, you didn't need them. Yes, you did. Why are we forgetting that?
No, you're not wrong, but it was less common in the sense that publishers couldn't push out, there wasn't that, I mean, you could patch a game with, the next Xbox game disc that you got and it would roll out some updates. But for the most part, those game developers had to make sure that that game is 99.9% good. Yes, there was games that came out, to your point, Ariel, but I think there were much fewer then than there are now.
I agree. Like bug testing and like going in depth and doing all the things that gamers might do was some, like there's a whole department that does that. Now I feel like they just have one guy play the game. They don't do it
for sure. 100%.
And if he doesn't run into anything, sweet, deliver the game. Meantime, every gamer plays differently, and then you'll land up doing something stupid, like try to swim in the water. Who wouldn't want to try that? And if it's game breaking, then they have to patch it, which is...
But I mean, Cody, you just played with your dad Tomb Raider Dark Angel again, okay? And I'm sorry, can we just acknowledge how terrible that experience is? Awful, terrible. But people were happy because that's all you had.
Yeah, but that was just based down on just not ideal game mechanics and certain things. Right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's not a right or wrong. Yeah, I think we're dealing with so many of these issues. There isn't an ideal scenario anymore, other than deliver a great game that's not going to give us issues on day one. But then maybe there's a nostalgia for triangle boobs. I mean, how much would you, suffer with? Yeah, exactly. And poor game mechanics.
Yeah. So I mean, it was funny when he brought it up.
Yeah. No, go.
When he brought it up, I was even wondering, did that game come out before or after analog sticks? Do you guys do you guys know when analogs came out? Think about it. When do you think they came out?
1999, 2001. Somewhere there, early 2000.
1997 analog.
So we did play these games with the analog controller.
Yeah, so we did play these games with analog sticks, and then I was like, nah, because
I
distinctly remember like having to tap the little arrow keys so that you're exactly in the right position, and if you mess it up, you have to run all the way back so that you could just get the perfect angle. But that's how we played games. It wasn't a bug.
Raymond says Cyberpunk, yes, good example. Everybody bought it and ended up being miffed out. Then after a couple of months, it was a gem of a game. So true that. And Atomic, another one, says a few years back, Elder Scrolls had huge, ridiculous weekly updates and bugs, but still try to play it.
That was hardcore. Yeah. Let me just say, I remember that. I played Elder Scrolls Online during that time. And it was before uncapped internet was really like a common
yeah.
thing here in South Africa. Every Monday we would try and play the game and it would have like a 60 to 80 gig update. And you would be like, what? I'm for sure getting capped. What is this? Then you'd go to your one friend who was rich and had the uncapped internet, and they'd have to do it and pass along the hard drive that had your update files. Then you play. 2 days later, another 60 to 80 gig update. Oh, it killed me. It was harsh.
Yeah, that's just bad form from game developers if they have to push out big updates like that. Unless it's a lot of new content, right? In which we know
It was
wasn't.
harsh back in the day.
I mean, you were essentially downloading a whole new version of
Whole
the game.
new
probably by
game.
that point. Yeah. Version 5, not version 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, so coming back to Avowed, you say it's average, eh? We should pass.
It is incredibly mediocre. Like, it really is. I played the game and I played it on Game Pass and I felt robbed. Even on Game Pass, I felt robbed. I feel like the time I spent installing the game robbed something from my life. Like, there isn't one aspect of a game that I'm like, wow, this feels like something special. It's just everything is mediocre. The people online, like I was discussing this with a friend last night. I feel like some people are being very disingenuous online because the game looks terrible when you play it. Then I see there's a whole bunch of people on social media that are like, the game is so beautiful, but they're only using the press images that were supplied. Not a single one of them has used a screenshot from inside the game. Like, you are lying to people, and you are lying to people at the cost of 1,200 rand. I feel like that is so disingenuous.
Let's in closing, let's just reflect quickly. What was the hype of Avowed before the game? Did everybody have high hopes? Everybody had high hopes for this game, right? It was hyped. It was not intended to be this, of course.
No.
How does it go this wrong, this badly? I mean, that shouldn't be. Let's be honest. Game formula isn't an unknown mystery. We know what gamers want for the most part. We know what works. We've got libraries of great games, right? I mean, yeah.
Restructuring. I feel like that is the thing. I feel like everybody heard the name Obsidian and they were like, ooh, I love their previous games they've done. This is going to be great. But what they don't take into account, the name means nothing. It is the people that mean something. And from the time when they released their last title that you loved till now, they've gone through multiple staff changes, new coders, new animators. They moved from being their own studio to now being owned by Xbox. And I think a lot of that, like, also, sometimes things are just a fluke. Sometimes you made magic once. And you wrote this amazing story and everybody loved it. But that doesn't mean necessarily that that's your baseline and every game you come out with is going to be great. And that's fine. It can be mediocre, but not at the expense of someone's salary. Like, I feel like that is ridiculous and we shouldn't allow this.
Yeah, let's go take to the streets. But you're right. I mean, game development is in a very difficult space at the moment because there's a lot of money in it and people want to make a lot of money. But at the end, the artists and the people that's really good at making the game, I mean, how many people get laid off after a good game's being made, right? So that heritage of that company you're talking about, Ariel, gets lost immediately. And we don't have that continuation of skills in a way. Yeah, it's a scary reality of gaming.
Also, I feel like back in the day, you made games because you made it for gamers. Whereas, unfortunately, now you're making games to appease shareholders, investors, and that can also change something a lot, eh? Like, this is your passion project and your baby, but now these investors don't agree with that and they want you to do this. This shareholder will police money if you don't do this. And then your initial little spark of something great you had is just extinguished somewhere down the line.
Yeah. I mean, I don't doubt that these developers had a great idea and they were like, we want to deliver something amazing, but yeah, board members make boring games.
The same can be seen in Hollywood. If you look at movies, right? Fantastic movies, and parallels are huge. So, you get fantastic movies on big budget, fantastic movies on low budget, and you just get crap on both sides.
Mediocre.
Yeah.
But again, like, I don't want people to think I think Avowed is crap. Like, the Gollum game that came out, that was a crap game. So I feel like there's also a spectrum. There's crap games, there's good games, great games, and then mediocre. And like, Avowed is not passionate enough to be a crap game, but it's also under being a good game. It's there as this thing.
The thing, I think on that note, it's a perfect way to end this. Leave us with those lingering thoughts of not to download Disavowed, because it's forever known in my head as Disavowed. Guys, thank you as always for your time and for tuning in. Even if there's any questions after this podcast goes up, please let us know. We'll get back to your questions or answers or check your comments out. And if you have any recommendations for mediocre and really good games you need to check out or actually avoid, please also let us know of those. So Ariel, you say no to Avowed. Cody, what game would you recommend people not pick up immediately?
Recommend not pick up?
Immediately, yeah.
Oh man, I don't play
Is that a
terrible
tough
games.
question? Oh, you don't play
That's
terrible
such
games.
a tough question. I don't do that.
I
I would
was thinking
say...
about the answer myself.
What?
No,
No,
that is
Farm
a phenomenal
Simulator
game.
is way better than Avowed. Come on. Farm Simulator is a good
joking.
time.
Everybody, put down your, I don't know, your
Pitchforks?
rakes. Rakes, okay? It was
Take
a
a
joke.
step back. Yeah.
Yes.
How
I'll
dare
answer,
you?
in closing, I'll answer my own question to you, Cody, or to you and Ariel.
Cool.
I had very high hopes, and I really wanted to enjoy the Funko Pop game. You remember that one?
Oh,
I
yeah.
wrote about last year. Everything that I saw about it looked fine, looked good. I know it wasn't going to be a high-end adult game, but it just seemed like this could be fun, even if just as a shooter, right? But yeah, it fell flat. As much as I want to say, if you're a Funko fan, you should check it out. It's rather spend money on more Funko Pops.
I
Don't
agree.
play the King
I
Kong
like
game.
that.
King Kong
I'm going
game.
to say that. Raymond, that's my pick. Thanks.
That
Yeah,
makes
so-
me sad because that was on my wish list. I'm not gonna lie.
King Kong from last year. Yeah, again, had a high hopes for it because the movies were fine the years before it.
Yeah.
But anyway, on that beautiful note, thank you guys. Appreciate your time. Enjoy playing good games today. I will be trying out one of the things now that I'm in the UK for a few days. I want to try some local game servers up here, like Call of Duty. Because the experience up here, obviously.
Ooh. He wants to play against us with like 6 ping. That's what he wants to do.
That's
We
We
should
are
do a
sitting on
test.
like
We should
250.
see how much better
He's
he
on
is.
6.
How much better does ping really make you?
When you get me in real time, then you know it's dangerous. Yeah, it'll be fun. So if you have any suggestions of things I should check out, or if you want to know anything like, game server related, I can certainly check it out the site. So let me know. Dudes, thank you very much, guys.
Reach.
What?
Hello.
Hello, Nag.
Guys, if you want NAG merch, you can head on over to shop.nag.co.za and you can look as cool as what me and Reach look. Not
No, this
like
is limited.
Cody
You can't get
in
this one
his,
anymore.
No,
Cody's
not this
beanie
one.
isn't. Yeah.
in
I'm on-
his like ridiculous off-brand beanie, but
I will
should put a
say
Nag sticker on there.
RSG stole my Nag beanie. That's why I don't have a Nag beanie.
rude.
Maybe we should, if demand is there, we should maybe do another round.
We should do
Winter's
another
coming.
run. Winter is
With how
coming.
cold it's getting, yes, please. Hoodies, beanies. Let us know what you guys want to
Glovies.
see.
Tracksuit pants with big NAG
Ooh.
logos on it, but with
That
double layers.
Onesies.
Sweatpants.
Sweatpants, yeah. There we go. We can just start a whole new clothing line. Okay, but before we do that, guys, let's work on the next magazine, get that one out.
Yes.
Thanks for the merch shout out, Ariel. Cody, thanks for not wearing a NAG branded beanie, I guess.
I'm just here to carry things.
Okay, cheers, guys. Have a good one. See you next week.
Bye.